On today's episode of the Fumblerooski podcast, we have a new highest paid wide receiver in NFL history. All that and more. This is the Fumblerooski podcast.
It may not have always showed it in the stat sheet, but you can see him making throws when he needs to make the throws.
Back-to-back games where he has 3 touchdowns. Someone's got to get that 6 or 7 spot.
He's an elite wide receiver as a rookie.
Truly a lose-lose scenario for both sides.
Welcome to the Fumblerooski podcast by Power 88 Neen Radio and Secret Weapon Consulting. We got CJ, we got Tuck, we got myself, Chris. Happy Monday. Hope everyone had a good weekend. How's you guys' weekend? Pretty solid?
Yeah, solid. Can't complain.
Watch some ball?
I
Watch
was
some
paying
March Madness?
a little bit. I was paying attention a little bit to the scores.
Nice.
Yeah. Did you
Did
see
you guys? Did you guys make a woman's bracket?
We
I
didn't
didn't make any brackets at all.
Yeah, I know. I was just being funny. I made a woman's bracket, and
Is
I
it
mean,
already broken or is it still going?
and it's broken. But like the women's, no disrespect to the women's. I enjoy watching women's ball, but no disrespect to them. But it's very predictable outside of maybe like 1 or 2 games compared to like the men's tournament. So you can really just like pick the favorites. And when you get out of the first round, you're already at 99.8%, which is what I'm at. Because Syracuse decided to beat Iowa State, which that's a 9-8 game, a toss-up, a literal coin flip. And then some 10 seed beat a 7 seed. I forgot who it was. But
Got you.
have you guys ever seen the that Dude Perfect video of March Madness stereotypes, or March Madness bracket stereotypes?
Yeah.
That's basically how I've done what I've done with my women's bracket every single year, and it's UConn.
Got you.
Yeah, I get that.
Evidently, I ended up having UConn as both men's and women's, but
That's just how it is. If
Oh,
you
yeah.
believe, you believe. You got to believe in UConn, man. Men's and women's team, they've been nails. So
oh yeah, especially the women's, they're undefeated right now. Playing Syracuse tonight. Well, recording this Monday at 2:26 p.m. You're going to be listening to this on Tuesday, so chances are you're going to be listening to this, and UConn probably beat the shit out of Syracuse. But all right.
I wish college football would do a smaller version of March Madness, but that's a discussion for another day.
Yeah. Extend that shit to 16 at the very least. I think we've had this. You want to have this discussion now? Why not?
Sure.
Sure.
It's a slow news day, but yeah.
I think we've had this discussion before, and we've kind of. CJ, I feel like you and me have the right idea or the same idea, but differing opinions on it. Like, we want it to be extended, but I want it to be more like the other NCAA tournaments where the conference, every single conference champion gets the auto bid like every other sport. And then you fill out the rest.
Yeah, no, okay, well, here's my stance. I think you should be, if you win your conference, I think you should get an auto bid. Like that I can agree with, but that doesn't guarantee you like a top whatever.
Yeah.
seed.
Yeah. No,
Because
I
let's
agree.
be real, winning the MAC does not hold as much weight as winning the Big Ten.
Yeah. And it's very, like I said, very similar to the other tournaments where, like, take the men's tournament, for example. Lehigh won the Patriot League tournament for men's basketball, but they're not going to be given, say a top 5 seed. They're not going to be given a top 5 seed because it's the Patriot League. They're going to be given the 16 seed. Holy Cross won the women's tournament, and they had to go to Michigan as the 16 seed or the 15 seed, whatever it was, and they got their doors blown off. So
Yeah, it's like that. No, I get that. But how many teams should be in? See, I'm not going to lie to you. As someone who loves college football and is falling more in love with it every day, honest to God, honestly, that many teams, that's just not sustainable. I would say 32. I know you said 16, but 32.
32, maybe pushing it. But so let's think about it this way, right? So you have 9 conference champs because you got the Power 4 and the Group of 5. So, or well,
Group of 6 now.
Group of 6, yeah, because Pac-12. But even the Pac-12 is a little bit of a weird spot because there's only 2 teams in the Pac-12.
Not for now. For now.
For now. Shit, for all we know, that the Pac-12 could just magically reform. But I think that 24 would probably be more adjustable too.
Yeah, but the problem is 24 doesn't. I don't want bye weeks, is all, you know.
Yeah,
and we can disagree, and that's cool. But like, I've never been huge on bye weeks, especially the way the college football playoffs are. We have 4. Look, 1 or 2 teams I can deal with. 4 I cannot.
Yeah.
Like, so my problem is 24 doesn't go into itself completely evenly, which is why I said 32. It'd be 32 or 16. 32 seems like a bit much, but 16 doesn't seem like enough.
Yeah, no, I agree with that because, like I said, 9 conference champs, and then you're basically trying to fill out the rest of like. I feel like if you're gonna have the 9 conference champs, you need to at least have 18 teams, kind of to double it up, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's definitely a way, and in that way, you make the conference games matter more, or just conferences matter more in general, and more games in general end up mattering more.
Yeah, so, but I'm just saying, like, it should.
Yeah, so then you get farther away from like all the top 16 teams in the nation in terms of the AP poll are like these are the only games that matter on this Saturday.
Exactly.
And those random MAC games on Tuesday nights get more attention.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck, got anything to add to this?
Just to make sure, we're talking about college football here.
Yeah, college football, not college basketball. But
again, the problem with expanding the format is that we're going to have problems when it comes into like the playoffs and who's going to be in. We had a problem with Tulane being in the college football playoffs because of what happened to them. We had the same problem with James Madison. Even though they won their conference, we didn't think they deserved to be in the playoffs over another team. What? BYU, Notre Dame. The ones that were on the edge of getting in that didn't get in because of James Madison were champions. So now that's the issue. You want to expand it more to get more teams in, and it's like,
maybe. Oh yeah, because that way the teams like Tulane and James Madison, etc., that way they don't stick out like a sore thumb. Maybe they can actually, win a game, go on a run and such. Hence the madness part.
I just don't see the madness part. I see teams just getting abused needlessly.
Wow, it's almost like that happens in real March Madness. Like,
Yeah, but then we see teams that actually had a shot of winning. Like Florida actually lost to a 9 seed?
Yeah, they lost to Iowa.
Yeah, and so I could see that
almost beat Duke.
Yes. So I could actually see that happening in basketball because there's more individualness in basketball. Football, if you don't have a decent O-line or a decent front 7, you can't compete with some of the bigger schools. That's just the way it is. So if you feel like the game is over in the first quarter, like it was against James Madison in Oregon, the game is over the rest of the way because it's not going to get any closer. And I actually like some of these games, but it's like, come on now. I actually thought James Madison should have gotten in. I actually thought Tulane should have gotten in. But once they get in, you see some of the scores they're getting against some of these better teams. So it's like, as much as I would like to expand it, I'm not sure we're going to get the results that we actually want.
So I'll go a step further there, Tuck. I mean, I think the main issue there is that you're having James Madison go to Oregon, and the difference with like say March Madness itself compared to the college football playoff is that those first round games you're traveling to a home site, whereas the reason why the madness is so mad in March Madness is because all these games are played at neutral site. Like, granted, you have the few instances where you have Nebraska basically taking over Oklahoma City and setting a new noise record in OKC's own arena.
Mm-hmm.
Say Siena and was going to play a Cameron Indoor against Duke. That's a blowout. Duke blows them out of the water 20 times out of 20.
Yep.
Whereas with that being a neutral site, that's a single digit point game at the end.
Then what's the point of being champions at that point? Then if you're
Oh yeah, no,
champions at that point, then if you're
Oh yeah, no, well, the point of being champions at that point is to get the auto bid and to get yourself a better seat at that rate. Like Siena won the MAC or the MAAC, which gave them the auto bid. Granted, they were the 16 seed, but
again, you're not just winning for home field advantage at that point. I could see teams like taking games off depending on who it is.
yeah,
I could see that now if they don't get home field.
yeah, makes sense.
Like for an example, like a Georgia, an Alabama, or maybe Indiana, I could see them taking the game off if they're like, listen, we don't need this game if we're not going to get home field advantage in the next round. It's not worth it if we know we can still make it to the college football playoffs. So why bother?
Well, then why does that happen in basketball then?
Basketball's a different sport than it is football.
Different doesn't answer my question.
What do you mean as far as like different?
Okay, so then why don't these other basketball teams take the game off then? You know, like why? Like what's the difference? Like you say they're different how? So why would this phenomenon only happen in football?
I believe, in my opinion, when it comes to basketball and football, individualness in basketball can outweigh a team thing in football. That's why you have more of an impact from an individual player in football.
Are you saying this from a general standpoint or just a college standpoint? Because college ball, I could tell you this much. There's not guys taking load management days in college ball.
I want to say I believe you.
Unless you're Darren
but
Peterson.
Darren Peterson is different, but
I want to say I believe you. But now that the advent of like NIL, I could see teams telling guys not to practice days off because there's actual money on the line now with them.
Well, yeah, if you want to have a guy not practice, that's one thing, but I can still tell you for sure, like guys aren't taking games off for that matter.
Here's my issue. When it comes to like NIL, players can now dictate how much they can play versus how much they can now dictate how much they can play. So then that's my issue. So if you have a player that's better than them, but someone has an NIL deal that mandates that they're on the field most of the time, that can hamper your team. And so, yes, that's an actual thing. That is an actual contract that exists in NIL. I couldn't believe it when I heard it. So when you have contracts like that, I can see things like that happening. So I'm not gonna poo-poo it for now, but it sounds good, but I'm not sure how good it'll be in execution, especially with the way NILs are working and the way college football is going.
So if they have to be on the field X amount of snaps, then how would that lead to them taking games off?
Depending on how they feel. They could tell the coach straight up, I'm not playing.
All right, well then if they're not on the field for that amount of snaps, then they don't get their money, like, you know?
No, they get their money regardless.
Well then so if they get their money regardless, why did you bring up they have a set amount of time they have to play? Like what?
Because they can dictate who's on the field and when they're on the field. It's not coaches that get to dictate it anymore if they have that type of contract.
Okay.
I don't want to explain it. It's too long to explain. Not to say you don't understand it. It's just I can't properly explain it the way I want to. I can't do it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fair enough. Now, I do hate the fact that I had to bring up the fact that maybe you eliminate those first round home games to make them neutral site. I do hate that fact because, you know, playoff atmospheres in college sports is fucking awesome.
Yes.
As someone that has seen it plenty of times in at least the college hockey sphere, it's freaking awesome. And you should have more collegiate home games or collegiate home playoff games. But all right, let's actually talk football now. We have a new highest paid wide receiver in NFL history. It's Travis Kelce, official today, signed with the Kansas City Chiefs. It's official. I'm kidding. That is a news story, though. Travis Kelce officially signed his 1-year contract with the Chiefs. But it's Jackson Smith-Njigba signing a record 4-year, $168.6 million extension, which is going to make him the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history. He's making on average 40 per year with 120 million guaranteed, also highest in NFL history. This is I think when looking through like ESPN and seeing what some of the talking heads have to say, it seems that really the main topic of conversation really was this deserved, which is a resounding yes. This is extremely well deserved. Now you can have these conversations of whether or not JSN is a top wide receiver in the league, but for the numbers that he put up this past season, it's hard not to say that this is not a well-deserved contract.
I agree. Congrats to him. This is a very well-deserved contract considering the season he just got off of. Monster season for the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. Congrats to him. I think right now he is at least a top 3 receiver in the game right now. You could either say Chase, you could say Jefferson, or you could say Justin Smith and Jigba, or maybe Puka Nacua. But one of those 4, he's definitely in the conversation. So I think he's deserving of this type of money. That was my first reaction. And then my second reaction is, dear God, we're going to lose Zay Flowers. We can't afford that. Because he might ask for that type of money, and we'll flat out tell him, we're not giving you that. And we might actually have to make him walk or give him the franchise tag, which we already know how that goes. I was like, damn, why couldn't we just sign Zay sooner? Oh, well. But congrats to Jackson Smith and Jigba. He deserves it. He's a all-world receiver, and good luck to him in the Seattle Seahawks.
CJ?
Every time I remember, you know what? I'm just going to say it. My feeling watching JSN get this deal, and then, before that, watching Jamar Chase get his deal, etc., and DK Metcalf. Every time I watch these wide receiver deals keep ballooning, I think to myself, Christian Kirk has done irreparable damage to the wide receiver market. He really has, because now number 2s expect to get paid like number 1s. Number 1s see this and expect to be paid like quarterbacks, and quarterbacks see this and expect to take up half your salary cap. And oh my God, it's just like, don't get me wrong. He's worth every penny. He totally deserves that deal. But now if you're Seattle, I'm starting to understand why you let literally everyone walk in free agency. Like almost anyone good who could walk ended up doing that. Like Boye Mafe was one, Kobe Bryant, Reek Wooling, Kenneth Walker, Super Bowl MVP. So like it's huge, but this seems like one of those deals that I think is just going to bite them in the ass 2-3 years from now, where maybe you've got another really good young player that needs a deal, someone who's crucial, and you just can't pay him. So you end up having to trade him when you have no leverage or let him walk or something like that. And you better hope in the future he plays nice with you and agrees to restructure his deal, because this seems like one of those. But you get what I mean, though, right? When I say this seems like one of those deals where, yes, he's worth it, but this could very well backfire for the team. But for the other receivers, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Like Tuck, for what you said about Zay Flowers. And I've said this many times. If you don't dictate the market's going to dictate you, and you don't want that. For example, as a Pats fan, when I saw McDuffie get that deal, my first thought was, well, bye-bye, Gonzalez. New England doesn't pay their corners. They don't like to. So, so we're kind of in the same boat. Different positions, but still, it's all about you have to strike while the iron's hot. And of course, the flip side of that is you don't want to overpay, right? You see, especially around the league, when you have multiple players who are really good and need an extension, it becomes essentially a big game of chicken. Like each team's just daring the other to make the first move. And if you make the first move, then you better make a smart move because then it's just mutually assured destruction all around. Because you can hurt yourself as well, because a lot of these times, like me, this happened to Seattle, where they just kind of end up bidding against themselves. And Tuck, I'm going to be frank, I don't think Zay Flowers is going to want that. I highly doubt it. He is not in the same stratosphere as JSN. And, until he gets his fumbling problem under wraps, you got to tell him, no.
If Zay Flowers is asking for that, he needs a fucking reality check.
Yeah.
But what if he has a
I'm going to
JSN
be real. If Zay Flowers goes up to your GM, it's Eric DaCosta, right? If he goes up to Eric DaCosta and says, I want JSN money, I know it's going to hurt, but you just have to look at him and say, okay, well, then there's the door. Find someone that will do that.
Two things about this. One, because JSN was drafted in 22 and then Zay Flowers was drafted in 23, correct?
JSN was in 23. They were both in
the same draft. Oh, okay. Oh, he better not ask for it then. I could see him asking for 30 to 35. I could see us matching that. 35 to 40, you might be pushing it a bit. Number two, we might actually see it this year when it comes to Seattle on need of players, because next year Devon Witherspoon is coming up. Because
no, Witherspoon's coming up now. They JSN and Witherspoon were the same class.
Yep. So they're coming up now. So that's going to be. I'm not sure if it's a problem now because they're still 8th in the cap space. So I think he has enough money to make it work for the contract. Yeah. So hopefully that's not a big deal, because they already paid Cross. They've already paid Sam Darnold. They've already paid JSN. I think he's the other cornerstone of this team to make this go. So if they get him under wraps, I don't see a problem.
Yeah.
Because they paid everyone. They should.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. But there's one other thing that I want to point out. I mentioned Christian Gonzalez of New England earlier. So, if we're talking about contracts and markets in general, he also is to get his deal from New England. And Seattle, you better hope that you pay Witherspoon before New England pays Gonzalez. Because if New England pays Gonzalez first, I don't want to sound alarmist, but there becomes a chance, not a likely chance, but a real chance, Witherspoon ends up getting priced out. Especially, and Tuck, you got to bear with me here. I know I can hear you grumbling, but, do you know why they're still 8th in cap space? Because this is a contract for next year. JSN still has 1 year left on his rookie deal. And you don't want to have to navigate a year where what we'll call the big boy contract, when that kicks in, and you have to work around that. It's better to get everything tied up now and deal with it later than get one thing tied up now and then have to navigate around it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing, too, with all this, is that Puka Nacua is up for an extension. So this is going to evidently affect what the Rams are probably going to pay. Because, there's also a very clear debate of who's the better wide receiver, Puka or JSN. And you can have this all debate all day long, but at the end of the day, the Rams could very well match this and then some for Puka Nacua.
They don't even have the cap space right now. Who are they gonna fix that for?
There were rumors they might trade Davante Adams. I would imagine they would have to do that.
Oh yeah, they were part of the original AJ Brown sweepstakes. According to Diana Rossini, the Rams were in on AJ Brown along with the Patriots. Those were the two main teams, and you would have to assume that Davante Adams was going to be in that trade. But looking at Spot Track right now, the Rams do have 28.3 in cap space remaining right now. Let's look ahead. Oh shit. Let's look ahead to let's say 2027. Which, why not? Right now they have 132 mil in cap space for 2027.
Right now.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't give up Davante Adams just yet, even though he's not what he once was, because I don't think he can stay healthy. He's still a touchdown machine. He had 14 touchdowns last year.
Yeah.
I don't know who's just.
I agree. I'm just saying though, like for the Rams, Puka Nacua is obviously a top 5 receiver in the league. I think whether you think he's better than JSN is one thing, but he is top 5. So he's going to get a deal similar to that. It's literally a matter of when, not if. And if you're the Rams, you obviously want to maximize your shot, because I'm not going to say next year is do or die. But at this point, with your quarterback Matthew Stafford, I think we can all agree you're playing it by ear at this point. You're going just 1 year to the next. There's no like long-term planning here. It's win now. That's kind of what they're doing.
Yeah.
And as a result, you have to make everyone happy. So if you got Puka Nacua, who's I'm not saying he is, but you don't want to risk it either, because if he gets upset about his contract situation, then there goes like your one shot. You don't want any locker room problems. So it's best to just rip the Band-Aid off now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's really just a matter of if or when, not if, at this rate. And for all we know, Puka's contract, I mean, he could get an extension literally as soon as we get done recording, for all we know. So, All right. Anything else we want to touch on in terms of JSN and the Seahawks, or anyone else that is up for an extension?
George Pickens is still up for an extension yet.
Oh, yeah, this is going to screw Dallas.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to get JSN money, but where Dallas is right now in terms of their cap space, which looking at it, they do have 16 mil to play with right now, but
that's a bit short. That's a
Yeah.
bit short right now.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it really just depends on how much you value George Pickens at that point. We've got tagged. We talked about a month ago when or a while ago when franchise tag was still pretty much a thing, or still going on. And that was the main topic. It was very much a viable option of a tag and sign in terms of George Pickens. There is very much a mutual agreement of let's keep Georgie in Dallas, but it's just a matter of what Dallas wants to do with their money at this rate, or how they want to do this with their money.
Only in Dallas will they have these types of problems consistently.
Oh, yeah.
Moving on, little screwy stuff. Flag football was this weekend. I didn't watch a fucking lick of it. The only highlight that I saw was Joe Burrow risking tearing his ACL and Tom Brady turning back the clock. That was
and OBJ, that one-handed snag.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. But yeah, I guess the main story was Team USA. Team USA flag football beat NFL players, or these NFL teams, which it doesn't really come as a surprise, nor do I necessarily care either. But like flag football compared to actual football, it is very much two different things. Like I when I was in high school, I was part of a winter off-season indoor flag league, and me and my buddies that we all played football with. We ended up having to go against a bunch of fucking soccer players, and soccer players are shifty as hell themselves. So, and the way we were trying, and we didn't really care about winning or losing. Granted, we wanted to win, obviously, but like we were running our normal stuff that we would run in high school, which is for actual tackle football for both offense and defense, and not like flag football plays and whatnot. So I kind of doesn't surprise me, but like I said,
we got belts, and it shouldn't. We actually thought the NFL players would just run the actual flag football team off the field, because I remember making flag football a part of the Olympics at one point in time, and we said our team would be consisted of nothing but NFL players, not even considering how good flag football players are right now. And I gotta say, We got the belt, and we deserved every second of the belting we got. Joe Burrow, don't know why the hell you're out there. Come on. Don't get injured. We wouldn't want that to happen now, would you? That's nasty of me, I'll admit, but still. Tom Brady, he misses football a lot. Too much, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But he misses it a lot. OBJ can still make the plays when you absolutely need him to. DeAndre Hopkins was out there as well. Speed, for some reason, is actually competing with NFL caliber players and putting up a fight. Like, this is ridiculous. And I Show Speed is an actual, like, an elite athlete.
He's an athlete.
He's an elite athlete, and people tend to forget that. It's like, how? But I would, if he got an NFL tryout off of this, I wouldn't be mad. I would not be mad because of how much of an athlete he is. But other than that, after a while, it became evident that the NFL players just couldn't hang with the flag football team. So yeah, Team USA just beat the brakes off of us, and entertaining at some points, but all in all, yeah, this was inevitable. This is what we get for talking shit like this.
I still think that you could have NFL players round out the flag football team, to be honest, but like, let's actually think about the logistics of it, first of all, and the fact that when the Olympics ends up happening, teams are already going to be in preseason and training camp.
Yeah.
So like, it would just be stupid as fuck for the NFL players to even be doing it.
I don't know. I don't listen. All I'm gonna say is this: Lamar wins an Olympic gold medal. I don't want to hear anything more about he can't win championships.
Shut the hell up.
I'm just saying, if Drake May wins an Olympic gold medal, you're not gonna be like, you know what? You don't know, and you know what I mean? We wouldn't care. We'd be like, I bet you Brady doesn't have an Olympic gold medal.
Who is we? Who is you? Because I know good and damn well you ain't talking about me in such a manner. Well, no. Look. You know what? The whole gold medal thing with Lamar Jackson, I bet you anything that's the same thing Carmelo Anthony fans say when you bring up he doesn't have a ring.
Yes.
In a basketball sense. So let me tell you something. If you had any ball knowledge at all, not you, Tuck, I'm just saying like it's the royal you.
Mm-hmm.
You would have seen this coming. You would have seen it coming. I don't understand why people are so shocked. Flag football and real professional football are very, very, dare I add a third very, I will, very different. Flag football is about the sizzle, not the steak. It's about the flash, not the substance. It values the splash plays. It values huge gains. It values speed, quickness, explosiveness over strategy, over physicality, over mismatches. And of course, when you have, and they're usually faster as well. So of course, when you have like actual football players, a lot of them are either washed up or retired, then yeah, this makes sense, for the same reason that if you put the flag football players in pads and had them play 11 on 11, half that team's probably injured by halftime. These are literally just two different sports. You understand where I'm coming from here? That's literally it. Like, obviously, if they were allowed, if like the football players, were like allowed to tackle and stuff, then yeah, obviously, like that would be something else. But at the end of the day, pulling a flag and timing that up and making the perfect grab at the perfect angle, I'm not going to say it's harder than tackling because tackling, that's like a whole thing in and of itself. I'm not going to say it's harder. I'm not going to say it's easier. It's just different. It's not about the difficulty. It's just about the sheer difference.
Fair enough.
It's kind of the equivalent. Once again, I'm going to use another basketball analogy here. That's like putting NBA All-Stars against like the Harlem Globetrotters and playing by their rules, where it's just nonstop trick shots, nonstop half courts, nonstop like that nonsense. because that's what they do. It's what they've trained for. Conversely, you make them play a game by NFL or by NBA rules. Oh yeah, it's going to be a bloodbath. Like once again, it's just different. These are two different sports, and I was not shocked by the outcome at all. Although watching Tom Brady juke out Paul there, that was cool. That's my goat.
Not to bash on it, CJ. I think you're making the correct point, but not the right situation.
Of course.
I'll go a different route for you though. Sticking with basketball. Let's go to the early to mid 2000s, pre 2008 of USA basketball, when they were actually struggling a little bit. Like they were actually they were not winning gold medals during this time. They were actually losing to these European countries or just other non-American countries. And well, the reason being is that the NBA rules and FIBA rules are pretty different.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually sit in the paint in FIBA. You can actually touch the ball after it hits the rim if it's still over the rim. Like goaltending doesn't really exist in FIBA. The defensive 3-second does not exist in FIBA. Like there are some, even the ball is different. Like there's a lot of different stuff, and they play by FIBA rules in the Olympics and these international games, not NBA rules. So the NBA players are not used to these rules, and during the early to mid 2000s, we're getting dominated up until the 2008 Redeem team, when they just fucking shocked everybody because they actually figured out that, hey, we actually had to play by the rules. And once they figured out the rules and perfected them, that's when they just had their way with everybody.
Yeah.
So I think that there is a case to be made that if you were to stick NFL players into flag football and have them get used to the flag football rule set and just the gameplay in general, I think there's a case to be made that, you can still have a full flag football team of NFL players dominate the world.
I guess.
I could see it.
Yeah. If you want more about that, go watch the Netflix documentary about the Redeem team, because that's a very good documentary.
Yes, it is.
All right. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to review some free agency grades. Since, we're in dead time, so why not? This is the Fumblerooski podcast.
It may not have always showed it in the stat sheet, but you can see him making throws when he needs to make the throws.
Back-to-back games where he has 3 touchdowns. Someone's got to get that 6 or 7 spot.
He's an elite wide receiver as a rookie.
Truly a lose-lose scenario for both sides.
Welcome back to the Fumblerooski podcast. Let's get into some free agency grades. We're not going to give grades. We're just going to review grades that were already handed out by ESPN. They came out with an article over the weekend, and it was talking about the free agent signings and trades that have already happened throughout the offseason. And they gave some grades, and it's really just looking at grades that they gave an A or an A- to, just an A grade. So we're going to go through some of these. They gave an A grade to Kyler Murray for the Vikings.
It's because of how desperately the Vikings need quarterback play, not because Kyler Murray is an A grade.
Also, It's because they're not paying him like a true franchise guy,
Yeah, I think the majority of it is just the deal itself, because it's only a 1-year, $1.3 million deal, because the Cardinals are still paying him $36.8 million fully guaranteed.
Oh my God.
So the Vikings can get away with paying him like little to nothing, or just barely not the veterans minimum. Next one, Malik Willis with the Dolphins. 3 years, $67.5 million, $45 million guaranteed.
C plus?
No, they gave this an A.
You know what? I didn't say it at the time, but I'm going to say it now. Am I the only one who doesn't understand the Malik Willis hype? Like people are saying, "Oh, he's the next big thing. He's the gem. He deserves this money." But when I look at Malik Willis, I see a career backup, a very scheme dependent, career backup. And I'm just going to say it. He looked good in Green Bay because A, the backup bump is very real. There's not a lot of tape on him. And B, he's a scheme merchant. I don't even think he has 10 career wins. Maybe he has like 10 career starts, but wins, I don't even think he has that. I'm not entirely certain. But I don't understand this. And when you're the Dolphins, you're going to have 160 million in dead cap over the next 2 years. And you decide, oh, here's a fun idea. I'm just going to give Malik Willis a 3-year deal. Okay. And what happens when you trade Jalen Waddle too, and a lot of your signings were 1-year prove-it deals outside of Willis? So what happens when the team sucks? You've essentially set them up for failure and you're going to have them for 2 more years, right? You're going to have them for 2 more years, and then maybe you draft a quarterback next year because it should be a QB-heavy class if a lot of these prospects pan out. So it just seems like they're setting them up for failure. And then if they draft a rookie, then congratulations, you've got the world's most expensive backup, except for maybe Kirk Cousins.
I'm just looking through his game log right now, and the games that he has played in, well, they've won more than he's lost in games that he's played in terms of the Packers. Not even looking at the Titans, because, well, they weren't winning a lot of games. This past year, against the Giants, 2 for 2, 6 yards. They won 27-20 against the Vikings. Well, I have to actually look at these games because obviously Jordan Love missed a couple games again, but there's missed 2 games at the end of the season that Malik Willis was in for part of them. I know the game that they lost in OT to the Bears, the walk-off winner for DJ Moore. That was a game Malik Willis went in for last part of the game. Same thing with Baltimore. Well, not the same thing as Baltimore, but he started in that game. Mm-hmm. I will give you the fact that he definitely does not have 10 career wins. But
he doesn't even have 10 career starts. I'm looking at it right now. He has 6 starts in his career. He has not thrown for, he literally hasn't even cracked 2,000 career yards or double-digit passing touchdowns. I'm sorry. I don't care. You cannot justify this contract.
Unless you're blatantly telling people we're trying to be ass this year.
Well, I mean, you can just look at the Jalen Waddle trade itself and you know what the Dolphins' intentions are.
Yeah. But why give him that contract if you're just going to make him the most expensive backup ever?
Oh, yeah, no, the contract itself is fucking stupid. I mean, and not to say that you can't win games with Malik Willis. He has gotten the Packers a couple wins when Jordan Love went down. But yeah, you're not expecting him to be this all-world starter. He's just going to be a guy that can get you a couple wins and be serviceable. He's going to get you what you're looking for. Tariq Woolen was also given an A for his 1-year, $15 million deal with the Eagles.
B?
A. This is all A grades. All A grades.
How?
I mean, I don't understand why he didn't get a longer term deal. I don't get it.
They want to see him in the Philadelphia Eagles system because they didn't trust him based upon the film he put on during Seattle.
I mean, I guess, I'm really shocked his market was that cool.
After the NFC Championship game?
Yeah, but still, if they're going to hold that against him, then a lot of players should have been getting 1-year deals, but I digress.
We'll look at one more in terms of signings. Mike Evans to the 49ers was given an A- 3 years, 60.4 mil with 16.3 million guaranteed.
On paper, it's fine, but he's going to be hurt by week 10.
Yep,
Like, I'm talking like season-ending IR by week 10. Until they either move the substation or move away from the substation, this will continue to happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Looking at some of the trades that they gave A's or A minuses to. Excuse me. Bears trading DJ Moore to the Bills for a second-round pick.
They're being too generous with some of these trades.
Yeah, especially with like DJ Moore to the Bills, like that's clearly a panic move by the Bills because they haven't had like they're 2 years without Stephon Diggs, and it like
Keon Coleman's not panning out.
Yeah.
Shafir is not being the wide receiver. That's a problem if he's the wide receiver one. And so they need DJ Moore in that offense.
Yeah.
Just felt like an overcorrection.
Chiefs trading McDuffie to the Rams for their first-round pick, fifth-round pick, and sixth-round pick, and next year's third-round pick.
I could see that being an A. That's the one. Like, okay, that's an A for both teams because the first-round pick, McDuffie gets paid. The Rams need a corner. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and you could even say like you could even just look at L'Jarius Sneed, for example, right? Like, for all we know, Trent McDuffie's just going to be another L'Jarius Sneed, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. I really don't think Trent McDuffie is worthy of being the highest paid corner in the league. And look at L'Jarius Sneed now; he gets cut by the Titans, and now he's back in Kansas City. So, anything to add?
No,
not really. Wait, is he? Did he go back to the Chiefs actually, Sneed? Or
I'm pretty sure. I thought I saw that he went back.
He's not the same now. It's like,
yeah. We'll do this last one as well. Lions trading Montgomery to the Texans for Juice Scruggs and a fourth-round pick next year's second round, or seventh, I mean.
This does nothing for Houston. He'll just be stuck. He'll just be stuck there training handoffs with Woody Marks with a terrible offensive line. This does nothing.
Well, Woody Marks or potentially Joe Mixon. Lord knows what his freaking status.
I thought he was released. Mixon.
Was he?
I thought so.
I thought I'm more of.
All right.
If he was released, then I would 100% know because he's sitting in my IR spot of my Dynasty League.
No, he's still there. I thought he was going to. Never mind.
I mean, for all we know, he could be potential June 1st.
He's requested his release. Oh, no. Texans released Joe Mixon. This was 2 weeks.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I could have sworn. Yeah. ESPN, Texans released Joe Mixon. So, yeah. So, either way, for the Texans, like, their offensive line just got so much worse.
Yeah.
So you might as well get rid of him and get him off your IR. He's not there.
Yeah, I mean, losing Titus Howard and trading Titus Howard and Juice Scruggs was a move. I'll give them that. It was a move.
But you're also messing over. You're messing over CJ Stroud, which you cannot have right now.
Yeah, like the Texans, their main issue is offensive line, and their response is let's trade an offensive lineman for a running back.
Yeah, and the quarterback play has been suspect. Know what we're going to do? We're going to put the quarterback under even more pressure to succeed without an O-line. This is something.
Yeah. This is more so giving an A- to the Lions, though.
Yeah.
And in the description, it's basically saying that his role was steadily decreased in recent years because of Gibbs. In 14 games in 2023, David Montgomery was featured on 48% of snaps and carried the ball 219 times. By 2025, it dropped to 37% and 115 carries.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. That's enough of that. It's time for Immaculate Grid.
It's about that time. Finally.
Immaculate Grid. All right. The options today, a weird one on the right column, but Lion Giant, Lion Bronco, Lion Bill, Raider Giant, Raider Bronco, Raider Bill, and a Giant, Bronco, and a Bill that have made a field goal.
Made a field goal. Okay, there's a few ways you could go there.
That's one of those. We gotta dig down into our kicker knowledge here.
This is
Well, Doug Flutie for the Bills, but is a drop kick considered? No, never mind. The drop kick was on an extra point. Never mind. That would have been a sick sneaky one though.
yes, it would have. Steven Hauschka
For
Bills.
Hauschka.
Yeah,
do you
not the
spell
way you
Hauschka?
spell it. It's with the PH. No.
ST.
Steven with okay. 8%.
By the way, for Lions Giants, Khalif Raymond.
Yep.
On. I just realized he played for the Giants for.
I was thinking about Snacks Harrison.
2%.
Nice. Lions. I'm just thinking about the Lions right now. Y'all keep thinking about field goals.
We'll keep thinking about kickers. Matt. Sorry,
James Graham Gano.
Yeah, that was something I was thinking. Yeah, he was there for a bit.
Yeah,
but the Giants had a shit ton of kickers lately. So,
I don't know, Young Hoku.
Yeah, but is he too recent?
Yeah, he's too recent.
Fair enough.
Especially because everyone knows he was on the Giants after that Monday night idiocracy.
Yeah.
Jay Freely?
Oh, that's
I should Jay Feely. No one's gonna know that kicker.
Damn.
Jay Feely would have worked here.
That one was rough. 30.
I just thought of one for the Lions and the Broncos.
Okay.
Do you remember that Texans linebacker used to be a stud, then he left and he sucked? Cunningham, Zach Cunningham.
Yeah,
Yes.
I briefly remember him. 0.1%.
I always think about Zach Cunningham because in that draft class, I really, really wanted New England to draft him, and they did not.
Raiders, Giants, Dwayne Harris. Am I wrong there?
Would Justin Tuck be too obvious?
Yes.
Yeah.
To me, yes. But
yeah.
Yeah, Harris was the return specialist, right?
Yes, but he played for both teams, I think.
I'm sending it. 0.7%.
Nice.
Talk.
All right.
The only Bronco that I can think of that's made a field goal is Matt Prater.
Yeah.
Or McManus.
Yeah, McManus too.
But he's way too friggin' obvious.
Same Prater. Raider Bronco. That one's tough to think of right now. I would say Raider Bill would be, Amari Cooper for Raider Bill.
Yeah, but that's a little-ish on the obvious side, no offense.
Yeah, especially with Amari Cooper having been traded to Buffalo very recently.
Matt Castle played for the Lions and the Bills, I believe.
Did Castle play for the Bills?
Yeah, he was there. Whether or not he took a snap, that's something
else. That's the
entirely.
issue. Yeah, that's the issue there.
I'm sure he might have been a holder, but I don't know if that counts. Other people that I could think of, I know Reggie Bush did, but that's a little too obvious. Michael Badgley, the kicker, played for the Bills and the Lions.
That actually.
I mean, shit. No one's gonna think of a kicker for this. Yeah, exactly. 1%.
Broncos, Raiders. Raiders famous linebacker that played for both. Super Bowl Roman.
Pfeiffer?
No,
No.
not Pfeiffer.
I was gonna say, like, he said Roman. I was sorry.
Why do I not know? Why am I drawing a blank now?
Well, there's Roman Harper.
It's
No,
Bill
he was on the
Romanowski,
Saints.
I think
Huh?
it's Bill Romanowski.
Oh,
Bill
Bill Romanowski. Yeah. Bill Romanowski. Yeah.
But is he? I have a funny one for Raiders Bills.
Oh,
obvious. I have a really obvious one for Raiders Bills. Nathan Peterman. He's obvious, but he's a meme, which is why.
Did he play for?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Or I meant, did he actually have a snap for the Raiders?
I believe he did, yes. Or you could go with that other quarterback. I mean, he was big back in the day. Oh, never mind. I was going to suggest Daryl LaMonica, but that's another one.
6% for Peterman.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we could just do a coin flip on Prater or McManus here.
I think McManus is a better choice because Prater had the 63-yard thing.
Yeah, you're right. 26%.
Yeah. Well, who else would it have been for Denver? Like, I know their current kicker, I think, is Will Lutz. There was that dude, Jason Elam, they had for a bit.
How everyone knew Bill Romanowski. Damn it.
Yeah, and Graham Gano. I should have held off on the trigger there.
Yeah, I tried to say Jay Feely or something like that because I knew he was a Giants kicker. Because I remember the time Devin Hester returned a touchdown on a field goal he tried to kick.
Yeah. No, all right. I'm going into the Bills because I'm very curious to see if Doug Flutie would have been on here, which I really don't think, but this is just for my own.
I thought you said it was a PAT.
PAT drop kick, yeah. But I'm just curious. Yeah, no, he's not on here.
Got you.
Fair enough.
Only 22 players have made a field goal for the Broncos. Maybe Denver just sneaky knows what they have in kickers. Special teams, man.
Plus
Special
that mile
teams
high thing makes the kicks go farther.
Well, never mind that.
I mean, I'm just saying,
that doesn't have anything to do with spotting good kickers.
Fair. Just to explain, they had a lot of good ones,
Yeah, true. All right, that's all the scheduled content that we have for you today. Anything else that's on the mind? I know Cam Scadaboo's on CJ's mind.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Giants running back Cam Scadaboo said that he doesn't think CTE is real and that it's like just an excuse. Then he apologized because the media told him, "All right, buddy, slow your roll.
Let's calm that down there, Buckaroo."
Yeah. And look, I'm not gonna say like anything like super attacking, but that's just a ridiculous take. Like, I don't understand why he said that, but no, well.
Yeah. Yeah. True. All right. That's all the scheduled content that we have for you today. Thank you for tuning in to another Tuesday episode of the Fumblerooski podcast. New episode coming out on Friday at 8 a.m. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we also have all our episodes available on Spotify, Spreaker, and anything imaginable that you can stream podcasts on. Also, be sure to follow our Instagram, Fumblerooski_podcast. Keep up with the pod and the latest coverage on the NFL. Otherwise, we'll see you on Friday. Over and out.